All right. So I want to talk about cultivating body awareness and empathy, and basically how understanding your physical, emotional, and spiritual feelings can help you to get a grasp on everything that's kind of going on around you and to distinguish your energy from other energies. So basically, what I mean by this is that like you can actually go into your body and you can feel into your body um, in order to be able to determine the difference between your energy and other people's energy, and through that you can actually use the the feelings that you're feeling in order to be able to like pull messages out of each one of the feelings. So like every one of those feelings has like a message that it's trying to send to you mentally, and this is like cultivating the kind of like connection between mind, body, and spirit. So it's all about understanding the energy that's around you and how that interacts with your energetic field and your body and your mind and what it does, because you know how everybody says that energy is very contagious, right? So like you can have energies around you, and if you're empathetic or empathic, then a lot of times people will take on those energies without even thinking about it. So like they'll just latch on to some energy that's around them, and then they'll assume that that's actually theirs, that they're feeling, when in reality it's just them feeling the whole field around them and not really being able to distinguish what they want to feel versus what they are feeling. So the first thing I found that's really useful is learning about the chakras and learning about the energy system in your body and how that's connected to your physical and your mental and spiritual. So the spiritual part would be the beingness of each one of the energy centers and their specific like metaphysical understanding, and opposed to like physically, where it would be like the way that each one of the energy centers feels when you're sitting in it. So like as you move up your energy centers, then your mental, physical, and your whole reality changes with that in order to be able to reflect the center that you're sitting in. So like say somebody's sitting in their red ray or their root, um, really everything's gonna be like filtered by that color, if that makes any sense. Like it's not color like in the way that you think about color normally, but it's like that color, like that texture of the experience, right? So like that color that is coloring your entire experience is actually what you are seeing everything through. So in red ray, what it would be a survival kind of like feeling, as though you need to do something in order to be able to keep your keep your physical and mental body is intact. So it's like I need to get food in order to be able to sustain my body, or I need to say that somebody's in war or something like that, right? They're normally sitting in the red ray because they have to, in order to be alert around them, and they're basically always expecting something, and they're always on the urge or on the edge, and just like always alert, but not in a awareness way, but more of like a fear slash survival sense, you know. And then the orange ray would be moving into sexual and carnal desires, like you know, like trying to find a mate, or just like trying to find pleasure in whatever you possibly can. And the yellow ray would be, once your pleasures are satisfied, then what you want to do is you want to basically move yourself into a space where you're able to influence large groups of people really easily, and you feel power from that. So like you feel like a lot of businessmen have a lot of yellow ray activity because they are basically learning how to control large groups of people using their power. And then the heart is where there's a jump, and like there's a gap between here and here, where we're basically, what that means is that there's a barrier that you need to go through in order to be able to move your energy into the heart. And what that is starting to see the unity or totality of everything. So like the connectedness of you and me, and how I am just a projection of you that has gone through my own experiences, but I'm still, like, basically, if you were to be in my experience, then you would have the exact same thoughts and feelings as I do. So having that knowledge, you start to become compassionate towards other people, because you start to realize that these people are just reflections of you in different ways. So like they're just showing you different aspects and things of yourself that you really haven't accepted, or maybe you have, and that's why you love other people, is because like you love your partner, or you love all these other people because they show you the beautiful aspects that are in yourself already. So it's not like they're actually giving you love, you're actually like they're helping you to love yourself more. And that knowledge actually is what opens your heart chakra, because you become very compassionate towards everything around you, because you know that it's all a projection of you, and it's all you projecting yourself everywhere in order to be able to experience separateness. The throat would be, when you are in your throat chakra, what you do is you express really, really well. So you have this energy of being able to, just from your being in that energy, you're able to really like articulate your feelings and your experience to other people in a way that they actually understand it on a deeper level. So you can really pull them into your experience and then have them see from your perspective what you're trying to say. And normally when people are in their throat, generally what it is it's like it's a need to project the feelings that you feel in your heart. So you have these feelings in your heart, and it's like of unity and all this other stuff, and then like you have this huge urge to give that information to the rest of the world, because it's so powerful and it's so beautiful and it's so profound, you know. So like it's like something that's like so absolutely wonderful and magnificent that you feel like it's something that you need to give to the rest of the world. And it's something that the rest of the world really kind of like, it would benefit a lot of people to be able to see this unity and this whole totality of everything. Then you have your third eye, which is your source of inspiration and of vision. So the way I like to describe it in a way is like, you know that you're using your third eye. Like if you think about imagining something, like there's a difference between seeing it when you close your eyes. When you imagine something, you don't really see it behind your eyelids, but you see it in your mind's eye. So like you feel and you see this image, but like it doesn't show as an image. It's just like the bare beingness of this thing that you're thinking of. That's using your third eye. So basically what that is it's a completely different intuitive like section of life. That basically the way that it works is that it's like ethereal. So it's not something that's manifest yet, but it can be just as real as something that is manifest. And if you're able to use it, then you can actually use it to manifest things into existence, by visualizing them into existence, basically. And that's what they mean by moving into the 5D perspective, is that you start to really understand, you project your own reality onto everything. So as you change yourself, and as you change your mental and physical and your whole mindset and everything, and you start to connect more to the spirit, then you will really move into this space of being able to just you'll just be able to comprehend more at one time, and you'll be able to like see connections between things that you aren't able to see before. And then you have your crown, which is generally sits up here about 6 inches above your head. And what that is it's like it looks like a big lotus that's kind of like spreading out like this. And that's your source of cosmic information. So that's your connection to source. And that's basically like, it works like a toroidal field. So it'll move back down through your root. And that's why if you look at the colors, right? Purple are like this like pinkish purple that's normally represented for the crown is very similar to the red that is represented in the root, because they both move into each other. So it's basically like it constantly moves like this. So there's really no difference between all of the different colors, but we think of them as different because we see things as separate. But in reality, they all work together as one kind of unified field, like a magnetic field kind of. But it has more properties to it because it has depth, and it has texture, and it has color, and it has like feeling to it. So like each one of these different colors has a color to it, you know? And so that's just a really quick thing of the chakras. But the way that you actually start to cultivate this knowledge of empathy through feeling these things is that once you start to understand that these things are real, then you can look into your body, and you can feel into your body, and you can feel where these energy centers lie, and you can feel the things that these energy centers are, like the, not things, but like the sensations that these energy centers are putting out and they're giving you. And basically they all have their own, like, they all have their own texture, you know. That's the only way I can really think about it at the moment. But like, so the way that you can start to see this stuff inside of you is by really like feeling, and you connect your feelings to the things that are around you. So you start to realize that the things that are around you are still part of your auric field. So you can actually, like, as you extend your auric field out further and further, then you can start to feel things as if they were you, but further and further away. So like, as you extend your auric field, say, 100 feet, then 100 feet around you, you can feel all the things and all the people around you as if it was your feelings, but you have to be able to interpret that and choose the feelings that you want to feel. And what you feel is your actual true vibrational frequency. And the way that you find that is you literally have to feel what it feels like to balance each one of these centers one by one. And as they're becoming more and more balanced, then you start to be able to discern your feelings versus the external feelings that are around you. And this isn't something that is really separate from you, but it's something that you'll start to notice as like you'll start to see how a contagious energy is, right? So like, if somebody comes around you and they're really happy, then you can actually take on that energy, and then after a while you start to feel more and more happy, and that is actually because their energy and their auric field is actually mingling with yours, and through that mingling of energy, you're actually exchanging information as well, because information is light. Information is exchanged through light. So our auric fields are light. We are light beings, light bodies. We are it may be a chemical physical body, but it's still made out of light, and it's made out of, like, the only way I can describe it is light, and then light is information. So you actually, just from your beingness and just from you being there, you're giving off information to everything around you, because your auric field is basically like your energetic code. It's like your energetic information that shows that you, like, the difference between you and the other people, or the sameness between you and other people. That's why a lot of people that you love a lot are very similar to you, because they show you these aspects of yourself that you love about yourself. And then there's other people who, if you don't like them, then it's because they're showing you aspects of yourself that you don't like about yourself. It's not because they're inherently bad people. It's because you are misinterpreting the things that you're seeing externally. And it's all about your own interpretation of it. So one way that you can start to link the physical and spiritual and mental is to, when you feel any kind of emotion, try to stop and then feel into your body and feel where it is in your body that is like flaring up. So like, if you feel anger, a lot of times it's going to be in your lower stomach, and you'll feel as though it's like a heat, or like it's almost like something's trying to punch out of your stomach, right? It's because that energy center in your stomach is actually way overactive, and what it's doing is it's actually stealing the energy from all of these other energy centers in order to be able to flare itself up. So the lower it is that it's sitting, whenever the energy is getting like expanded, it'll actually take more and more energy from the higher centers and move it downward. And then the more that you start to balance your lower centers, then it starts to move that energy upward, and the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts that are attached to each one of these centers starts to change. So like, the thoughts that you have when you're in your sacral chakra is like, I want to go and find a mate, or I want to find a person to mate with. And that's like your only really like main thought, and that's where most of your energy is getting taken from. And then your solar plexus chakra which I think I may have skipped over when I was describing the chakras. But your solar plexus is like, the thoughts that you'll have is like, no, I didn't skip. That's the business thing. But the thoughts that you'll have is like, I need to feel power over other people in order to be able to like make myself feel like I'm better or more than in my environment around me, or to make me feel like I have more self-esteem or self-confidence. And another, like, instead of a negative way to look at it, a positive way to look at it is your self-confidence center. It's your center of like of your feelings of like worthiness and stuff like that. And then so developing your solar plexus can actually help you develop your third eye as well, but that's moving up through here. And a lot of negative polarization people actually move just straight from their solar plexus up to their third eye, because your solar plexus is really the way that you develop your third eye. Because the more that you feel worthy of opening your third eye, or like having these siddhis, or like these spiritual powers, the more that you'll be able to actually tap into those, and they will become a part of you. And that is a much more difficult way of going about it, because of the fact that when you feel that, it gives you this sense of power over other people, and you're going to want to use that in a way that you want to control people rather than helping people. And that's why sitting in the heart is much, like, it's much easier on the whole system, because the heart is where you start to become compassionate for the people around you, and you start to see the similarities of you and the other people. And through that, you actually can develop the same spiritual powers as you were able to in the solar plexus, but it's actually even more potent and powerful, because like love is the connecting force of the universe, and it's the thing that brings everything together. So through that force, that's actually the most powerful force that you can use for manifestation and for being able to articulate your viewpoint onto the world, or just help the world to see from just the ways that, or the things that you've been seeing. And then moving back into the throat, the way that you can start to feel that is when you feel this this huge urge to create, or you feel this urge to express yourself. And you can know that most of your energy is sitting here, as long as you know that you've opened your heart, because sometimes that energy could be actually from your solar plexus, and that's that energy of like, I want to express myself because I have this feeling of like I need this self-esteem boost, you know, I want other people's validation. But if you do it from the throat, it's actually not doing it for validation, but for the pure reason of just trying to express yourself in a way that like other people can grasp onto the things that you've been experiencing. The third eye, a lot of people don't have their third eye open, but the third eye is actually the way that you can feel when that's activating is that it feels like a pressure right here on your brow. And then from that, it'll start to feel like this electrical sensation of it, like kind of going like this, and then it'll kind of calm down once it starts to open up. And like basically what you're doing is you're putting a channel of energy to come through here to where you can actually connect directly to the source of information, or like the source field. And then the way that you actually move that information is you open your crown, and then it moves through the crown and into the third eye. And then third eye is the interpreter of that information. So if it's blocked, or that third eye is not open correctly, or it's like not fully open, then that information that you're gaining from source is actually going to be skewed, and it's not going to be in the right context of what it was originally sent to you for. And what'll happen is that you'll try to give that information to people, but it won't resonate at all, or it will resonate, but it won't be a good message, if that makes any sense. Like, it won't be a pure love message. It would be something that's skewed or distorted by your own thought patterns and thought feelings and your emotions and everything like that. But this was just a really, really quick start to be able to see the connection between the mind, body, and spirit. And I really want to go really deep into each one of these chakras and how they affect your reality, and like when you move from one to another, like how it actually starts to change your entire viewpoint on everything, and how that viewpoint change starts to change the way that everything is interacting with you all around. I think it's really, really important for people to be able to feel this stuff so that they can start to develop compassion for other people, and we can start to move into a space where we are more trying to help other people rather than control and manipulate them into doing what we want them to do. I feel it's very, very important for us to start developing more compassion for each other, and to start seeing how we're all connected and how we're all one in a way that's much deeper than what we've been taught by society. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'm probably actually going to make some more videos today because I feel pretty good. Thank you, and I guess we'll see where this goes. Have a wonderful day.